One of the easiest way and fastest way to let go of those porn urges, those sexual urges, is to simply be patient. The Buddha said that patience is the highest practice you can have in your tool bag. What you need to do is very simple. It's outweight that urge. When you have that urge, what will happen? You will be triggered to watch porn and or to have sex. But when you can just be patient and let it fade, you don't even need to do meditation or anything else. Meditation is amazing, letting go is amazing. But what you can do when you have an urge is to simply relax your body, let it in, welcome it, do not fight it, do not resist it. What you can do is just do something else. Put a timer on for 15 minutes and just outweigh that urge. Now, I have to back up and tell you the science behind this. When you have an urge, especially a porn urge, that is when your brain will release the most dopamine. That's why you want to indulge. You have to understand that when you have the trigger, the anticipation, the cue, that's when your brain releases dopamine. Then you indulge and you watch porn. Your brain still releases dopamine, but not as much as when you had the cue at the beginning. And then when you finish, that's when the dopamine drop. And that's when you have more pain and anxiety, etc., when you finish. And you ask yourself, was it worth it? So if you can understand this at the beginning, when you have the trigger, understand that this is just a process of your brain that has been addicted to a substance like porn. If you can understand the science behind it and go in the future and understand that was it worth it, and the answer is always no. If you can think about this once you have the trigger, that you understand that the brain is just releasing dopamine because it has been triggered. If you can understand this and be patient and outweigh this urge, because you can simply be aware of it, be conscious of it, you understand, oh, that's what is happening. Then I can outweigh it. I've done the same thing for cigarette. When I wanted to smoke, I realized it was just a trigger. Maybe I saw my friend smoking and my brain released dopamine in my mind. But I understand that I have just to outweigh the urge to smoke because it's not worth it. Because when I smoke, I release dopamine, but not as much as when I had the cue at the beginning. And after I'm done smoking, I'm like, was it worth it? The answer is not really yes. It's more often than not no. So you can just do that with any type of addiction, but we're talking about porn. You outweigh this urge. You can observe it from afar. Observe it as if it was something outside of you. And if you can understand what the brain is doing, you don't need to let your ego in and let it coerce you into watching porn. You just have to observe objective what your brain is doing and outweigh it. If you can do something else, it's even better because by virtue of just doing something else, your brain focus on that something else. Remember the time when you really, really wanted to watch porn, but unfortunately, something came up where you had to do something else. You had something urgent. Your brain would focus on this, and you would not even remember a few minutes later that you really wanted to watch porn. Why? Because you had something that took your focus on. And if you can do this, outweigh it by being patient and by focusing on something else, it will be so much easier. But even if you just outweigh it, because if you just outweigh that urge, you will understand more easily the power you have in you because you can celebrate those small wins every time. And it is not a linear process. You will fail many a time, but you need to forsake those loss. Forget about the failure because they happen, but celebrate the small wins. And over time, you accumulate more and more confidence until it is so easy for you to overcome any type of urge. Also, best part is those urges will become lesser and lesser. And not only they will become lesser, but more intense. It will be something so easy for you to overcome. That's all for today. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Sebastian, your addiction recovery coach, and I'm here to help those of you who want to desexualize their mind and give up porn. or give up porn and desexualize your mind. Links in the description box.